So hello once again. It's weekend and Saturday. 35 kilometers classic skiing race, so not skating today. Yeah, I just decided when I went to the Isojoki that there is a 21 kilometer race and 35 kilometer race, so I wasn't sure because the weather was pretty cold. When I drove to the Isojoki it was minus 20, but luckily it changed a little bit, so I think when we started the race it was maybe 11 or 12 minus degrees. So yeah, quite nice weather conditions, and the sun came up between the race. So yeah, it was pretty nice. Um, so I decided to do the 35 kilometer race because I think this is maybe going to be my last race for this winter, because after 1 week we are going to the Luosto in the Lapland. So, and we are going to stay there 1 week. So almost all races are over when we get back to home. So, but let's see, maybe there is some kind of race there. So I'm going to participate if they're going to arrange those races. But yeah, as you can see, the tracks are okay shape, not okay, like almost perfect. And it was nice because there are 4 tracks there, and the 4 tracks lasted maybe 4 kilometers or something like that, because it's always 2 or 3 tracks, and it goes directly to maybe 1 or 2 tracks, but here was quite long, 4 tracks. So that was nice, because this is a little bit bigger race than Kettusari
It's showtime.
or Kraaterihiihto, but maybe a little bit smaller than Lauhahiihto. But nice event still. Okay, here you can see we are starting. So the start was pretty nice. It was a little, maybe 1% or 2% uphill, like the first section, but as you can see, my camera is a little bit off because it's directly like goes too low. I have changed that, but I just noticed after the race that it wasn't perfect when you compare the last races. So yeah, here we started the race, and as you can see, there are many skiers now, because the last races there are only couple guys there, but now it was bigger group, and there is, like, when you see the blue bib skiers, they are skiing the 21 kilometer race. So we started at the same time, but they are like going their own track after maybe 7-8 kilometers, so they going another direction there, but the first like 8 kilometers is the same track. So but yeah, here you're gonna see it's pretty important to get your position right when the group is bigger, because if you are like behind someone who is not that like doing so high speed, or the shape isn't that good, because the difference between these races, there may be guys that are pretty hardcore guys and maybe some soft guys, as you can see here. So I'm like in 5th or 6th place now, and I have to like looking out like strategy was like looking the first kilometers that what is the group and what kind of skiers is there. But the group between the groups are getting like gaps there, so I have to just wait because there might be maybe 5 or 7 seconds to the first guy. So if the gap gets too big, it's very hard to get those guys. So soon you can see I'm jumping the another track and go past that 11 BIP number guy. So I can get the group front of me because this guy's pace wasn't so high, so the gap is getting bigger and bigger. If I were a little bit smarter, I would like directly go to the maybe second guy or third guy there. So it's just like you don't have to accelerate because I have to do that couple times in this first section race. Here you can see I just started accelerate that I'm going to get the group back, and maybe you can see my heartbeat is going up a little bit, not so much. But there's a second try where I have to like close the gap, and that was a little bit harder because it was the two like strongest guys in the front. I got those guys. The GPS and speed and heartbeat isn't like a because I have to like sync those, so it's a little bit off. But yeah, as you can see, my heartbeat went a little bit up when I closed the gap. So it's not perfect situation. Now you can see the gaps is still pretty high, and these two guys are the blue bib guys. So these guys are skiing the 21-kilometer race. So, but the gap isn't getting so much bigger here, so I just waited and let these guys do the drafting for me. So, and see what is the gap. And there's two guys in the front, and one guy is like getting gap to the first group. So yeah, and the second guy in the front group is my friend Ari Orava. He's a little bit older, but he's very good in skiing, and he's like, I don't know, Superman. Because he is so tough. He's like skied in this winter maybe 3,000 or something like that kilometers, so he's a machine. So here you can see the front guy is dropping out, and the next guy is pulling us, and he little bit accelerated there, so the gap is getting smaller and smaller, but he didn't get the group back. So after I think a couple minutes, when he jumps off another track, I just accelerated pretty hard there. My heartbeat went, I don't know, maybe almost 180 or something like. But I got the two guys in the front, and then we went like our own way because the another guys back group, so they just fell. We left them behind, so yeah, three guys. So, and let's see here, we are catching the almost the front group, but the camera is bit off. It's yeah, we get the third guy there, but I think he's jumping off and giving us the pulling responsibility. So yeah, the gap isn't that maybe 3 seconds or something like that, so it isn't big. So this is quite nice to go in the group because I'm getting lot of draft. Now you can see the guy jump at another track, and now the blue bib guy is pulling us. So I'm just watching that the gap is not getting so big there. And when this guy changed the track, I'll just accelerate it and get the front group back. So let's see when it started. This guy is taking very long pull there. And then that was like a pretty good idea because this guy take it so long pull, so I just accelerated immediately when he jumped off the track, so no one couldn't follow me. So that was nice because I didn't even want to like pull the other guys to the front group. So yeah, maybe just a couple minutes. So, but yeah, this was the first time that I put my drinking belt on because it was 35 kilometers. So, and the race lasted 1 hour 45 minutes. So I used 2 gels and maybe 1 liter of water and yeah, the two gels, and I think that was enough. So yeah, here you can see it's my heartbeat is going down a little bit, so the pace is starting like, because always in these races the starts are maybe couple of kilometers are very hard, but then the speed is like settling down. Now you can see the guy jump at another track, and now I start to accelerate a little bit, as you can see my heartbeat, and maybe the speed goes up. So now I don't know the heartbeat, because now it goes up because it's a little bit lagging. But yeah, now you can see my heartbeat is almost 175, so, and speed is going up. So I got those 2 guys and didn't bring the group with me, so it was nice. So I used the drinking belt for this race, and it was, I think, necessary because it was 1 hour 45 minutes race, and the ski, like the snow condition wasn't so like slippery, and the speed wasn't that high, so you feel because it's new snow and like very cold, so you have to like put very hard work. You feel like every pull you have to like put power there, because when there are like icy and very slippery conditions, it's easy to you just pull those poles and you just go very fast. But now, because it's like not so fast, you have to like do the work, so not so much drafting benefit there. But yeah, this guy, Ari Orava, is, I think his number is B5, so he is very strong guy. And the profile of this race was, I think the elevation gain was like about 240 meters, so not so much uphills, but this was like we are going up, like the first 17 kilometers we go up to Lauhahiihto. It's like a mountain there. So what was I saying? My daughter came here and asked can she watch videos. So yeah, but the profile, so it wasn't too hard. So no, not so much elevation gain, but it was like the Lauhahiihto. We went up to Lauhahiihto. It isn't the mountain, but it called it Lauha Mountain, or I don't know how they say it in English, but Yeah, it was. I think the when we started, we elevation was maybe 100 meters above sea level, and when we got to the like the, up the mountain, it was 240 meters, so 120 the elevation difference. So, but I have like gained a little bit weight from this season, so the uphill, like here in flat parts, it's pretty okay pace, and I can like sustain it. But when the like uphill started, I didn't get the response those uphills. So, but these guys, when the first uphill came, they went away. It was like the gap maybe 5 seconds or something like that. But my skis was not excellent, but good. So when there was like a little downhill section there, so I just pulled the poles with power and then went to like the landing position. So I catched those guys again, but then I skied with them like maybe I don't know 10 or 15 minutes, and then the uphills came, so I couldn't catch those guys anymore, and I didn't want to pull too hard because I noticed that if I don't catch those guys and the uphill is like still continuing, so I didn't want to like get too much lactic acid, because if you get too much lactic acid, your like muscles and body just goes off, and the last part of the race is going to be like if you are like going walking pace, so to speak. Yeah, the camera was a little bit off and heartbeat. Like the here in video you can see the first part. It's okay, but I don't have the whole video because it lasted almost 2 hours and my GoPro died in the end. So I just half an hour video. So, but yeah, after like the when they two guys went away, I just skied by myself like maybe 17 kilometers. So that wasn't so nice go with myself. It was a little bit boring, but I keep it a pretty good pace there, and my skis was pretty okay. So it was like a okay pace. But yeah, the guy who came, who like was behind me, he after 5 minutes he came to the goal, so there wasn't like danger that they're going to catch me. And I think when I talked to the other guys, they said that the group there wasn't pretty big groups, maybe 2 skiers and then 1 skier and 2 skiers. So it's always good that the like groups is splitting up because they don't get the drafting benefit, and the group always goes faster than an individual guy. Like when I get like drafting behind these guys, we go much faster than single guy there, so I get the drafting benefit here. So, but after the race, I felt that 35 kilometers was pretty long because I haven't skied for this winter so much. So, but yeah, it was a nice race to choose like 35 kilometers. And yeah, the hands were a little bit like tired, but luckily it was a good race. So yeah, just keep watching and remember to subscribe, and at the end of the video you can see my average heartbeat and what was the pace there and all that kind of information from the polar. And yeah, I was in 3rd place. So good race, and let's see if there are going to be another races for this winter. But I think next videos is going when we go to the Luosto Lapland there. So let's see if the skiing tracks there is really good, I think. So just if you want to keep watching, and remember to like and subscribe. So see ya.
Se on vaan kiinni.